Okay, so to start this project, the first thing you're going to do is go to the exit ticket. It should say 11.8 or maybe 11.9. And you should see this image. You're going to right click or double click on your keypad to save image as. And then you're going to save the image to your computer. You'll then open Pixlr, which is the web design tool we're going to use for our project, and you need to make an account. You're going to click sign up /login and continue with Google to log into your account. You'll select your email address, and then it should have your name in the top right hand corner of the screen. There's one other thing we need to do in order to be able to use the tools. This may not be the case for everyone, but most people were having issues selecting some of the tools. So you're going to go to the right hand side. You should see these 3 dots. You're going to click them and click history, and then go to your computer's history. You want to clear your browsing data. So this should pop up. You'll click all time, clear data. Okay. This should refresh your computer and make it easier for you to use this program. We are going to be using Pixlr E, which is the photo editor. So you're going to click Start Photo Editing, and it should take you to a screen that looks like this. You're going to click Open Image and then find the picture. For you, it's probably saved in your Downloads folder. For me, I saved it to my desktop. Okay, so you should open the image here. On the right hand side, you'll have 3 panels: the navigation panel, the layers panel, and the history panel. On the left hand side, these are all the different tools that the program has that we can use. And then up here is the toolbar that gives more specific tools, just a different toolbar. Okay. So the navigation panel, if you don't see these 3 panels, or if you're missing one of these 3 panels, you can go up to the top toolbar and click View, and you'll find them here. If you click them, so for example, let's say I was missing the History panel, I would go into View and click History panel, and it should appear here. Okay. We're going to start with the navigation panel. Within the navigation panel, you have this plus and minus symbol. This is an easy way to zoom in and out of your composition, okay? This red box right here is showing you what part of the composition you are looking at, okay? So it has the overall image, and then this box shows what you are seeing. So if you want to move the box, you can look at different parts of your image while zoomed in, okay? Your layers panel, these are all the different layers of your image. Right now we just have 1 layer. We're going to add more layers. The order of the layers will determine what you see in the front versus what you see in the back, and we'll talk about that some more. The lock means that the layer is locked. You should not be able to edit a layer when it's locked. It says layer is locked in position, unlock to enable transformations. So we're going to unlock here, and you'll see that it becomes an eyeball. You can click the eyeball to show or unshow a layer, okay? The history panel tells us everything that we've done so far in our composition. So we opened it, I messed around with the layering and the visibility. So if we step all the way back, it'll go back to the way that it was before. Okay, so this is a really easy way to undo a mistake if you accidentally make a mistake while you're working. Okay, let's introduce our first tool. The first tool that you're going to learn about is the lasso select tool. This is where you can draw a selection using these different types of lassos, okay? There's a type, there's also a mode. So right now we have the free lasso selected, but we want to use the polygon lasso. This one's really good for drawing geometric shapes that have straight lines and corners, okay? We're starting a new selection, so we'll leave the new selection mode engaged, and then we're going to start selecting on our image. Our layer is selected, it's highlighted blue, so we know we're on our layer and we're ready to get working. You're going to click one of the corners of the shape, and you'll notice that there is now a line following from the anchor point you just created. You're going to go around and click each corner of the shape with your cursor to trace around the shape, just like this. When you get to the end of the shape where you started your selection, you're going to double click your cursor. So I'm here, I'm going to double click. Now there is no line attached to my cursor is free, and my shape is selected. If I wanted to move my selection around, I could click and drag, okay? If I wanted to move just the shape around, I could go to my Arrange tool and grab the shape and move it around, okay? Those are options. But for now, we are going to select multiple shapes. Now we're going to play with the magnetic lasso tool. Okay, this is another selection tool that you can use, and it predicts the edge as if it's magnetizing to the edge of the shape. Okay, so we're in our lasso select. We're going to click the magnetic lasso tool. We also want to change the mode. We're adding to our selection. We don't want to deselect our plus sign. We want to add to the selection. So we're going to click this box. Then you're going to click on the edge of your flower shape, and you're just going to start tracing along the edge all the way around your shape. It's really important to be as accurate as possible because it's not a perfect program. So do your best to trace directly over the edge. Okay. When you get to the front of your selection where you started, you're going to double click. And now, oops. And now our flower is selected. So now both of these shapes are selected. Okay. The polygon lasso tool would also be great for selecting this shape. And the magnetic tool would be great for selecting the heart, but I'm going to show you another way you can create selections. And that is with the wand select tool. This is a very great and easy tool to use, but it's not the best for every type of image. It's good for these high contrast images where there's a clear differentiation between the shape and the background, okay? So you may have to use a combination of both of these selection tools within your artwork. Again, we are adding to our selection, so we're going to change that to add. And then all you have to do is click on the shape you want to select. So I'm going to select the heart and this kind of star shape over here. So now all of our shapes are selected. From here, you could erase the shapes, okay? You could, I did that by just clicking the delete key or the backspace key on the keyboard. You could also copy the shapes. You could Control C, Control V, And now you have another layer that's just the shapes, okay, a separate layer of the shapes, okay? You could delete the background around the shapes. So you would go to select, invert selection, okay? And then you could delete the background by clicking backspace. Inverting the selection selects everything around your selection. So instead of the shapes, it's going to select everything around the shapes, okay? I'm going to go ahead and delete my shapes, okay? And then when I'm done, I'm going to deselect. You can do that by going to select and clicking deselect, or you'll see on your keyboard you can click Control D, and that should deselect your shapes, okay? Now let's add another layer. We're going to go into our layers panel and we're going to add an empty layer, okay? From here, you could do a few different things, okay? You could fill the layer, which is this paint bucket tool right here, or on your keyboard, you click F and it should select the fill tool. From there, you can choose a color that you really like. I'm choosing yellow, and then after you find the color, you can click within this box to choose the hue, tint, shade, however light or dark you want the color to be, okay? I'm gonna make mine a little more green yellow. And then you click in the box once you have your color selected, and it should fill the whole box. Notice we now are missing our shapes, okay? They're not gone, they're just behind this layer. So if you want to move your shapes to the front, you'll just click and drag your shapes in front. Now our shapes are yellow, okay? However, they're on separate layers, so you should be able to see, it's like as if you cut these shapes out, and so they are now like a hole in the canvas, a hole in the layer, okay? So what you're seeing is this yellow layer behind this layer, okay? Let's try some other things. Maybe you want to try a gradient. Maybe you want there to be a color fade, okay? From there, you could choose two colors. Maybe you want to do, I'm going to do purple and yellow, okay? That's nice. You can draw a line. Maybe you want your gradient to go left to right, okay, or right to left. I guess I'd mix that up, left to right, right to left. You can draw a straight line. You could draw a horizontal line. You could do a short line, okay, it's up to you. I'm gonna do a straight line, a vertical straight line, okay? Now we have that gradient showing up because remember, these are cut out shapes, so we can see what's behind it, okay? Okay. Maybe you want to draw on your background. You can doodle. There's different types of brushes. Maybe you want to draw just basic shapes, okay? Maybe I'll add some orange stars into my background. You can also change the size and the softness, okay? And then you would just click on the canvas to add your shapes, okay? Another thing you could mess with these layers is the opacity. So Maybe you want to see through that blue a little bit. You can change the opacity of a layer to see through it slightly. It makes it slightly transparent. I really like the way that looks. I think that looks interesting, so I'm going to keep that. Okay. Another tool I want you to be able to use is the text tool. Okay. So you can add a layer and add a text layer to your composition. Okay. If you click and drag this bottom bar, it will make your text bigger. Okay. You can change the font. You can select any of the fonts that don't have a crown next to them. The crown are fonts that you have to pay for, unfortunately. So anything that doesn't have a crown next to it, you can use. I like this font. I think I'm gonna call my artwork. If I was making an album, maybe I'd call this Starbursts. Okay, so there's my title. You can change the color of the font. You can change the size. Okay. You can also italicize, bold, underline the font. You can have it go from different sides of the text box. Okay. You can space out the letters more. And you can also change the style. So if you want your text to curve, you can curve the text. Okay. Oops. Some of this is hard to see, but you can curve the text. You could warp the text. That's not what I was looking for. You can play around with some of these things. You can add a background with a color. You could apply an outline around the text. You can add a shadow to your text. I kind of like the shadow. Let's see here. I'm gonna do some of this. That looks kind of cool. Okay, I'm happy with that. You can also change the layer order. Maybe you want your font to show through in certain areas, but not in others. Maybe you want the font to be at the bottom or in the center. Maybe you want to rotate your title, okay? You can rotate by clicking this circle, clicking and dragging to rotate, okay? But I'm going to go back to here. I think I like it on the front the best, okay? I'm going to make my font a little bigger, okay? If you wanted to add a picture, let's say we want to add a picture of a sunset, okay? You could find a picture of a sunset that you like. This one's nice. And save the image to your computer. And you can add an image layer. So you would go into your computer, find the picture you just saved. Oops, I can't find my sunset picture. Well, I'll use a different picture because I can't find it. Let's use this picture of Spirited Away. Okay. I could add a picture in. Maybe I want Spirited Away to be in the background. Oops. I'm going to hide this so I can more easy. Oops. I'm going to hide all these so I can drag my layer more easily. Okay. You could have a picture in the background. It's up to you, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to add. Okay, I'm going to delete that because I like this composition better. Another fun tool is the shape tool, where you can draw a rectangle, circles, you can add lines to your design, you can draw a shape, or you can select a custom shape from the different shapes that they have. You can also change the color of your shape. So that's a fun one as well. If you want to find a specific color that you use, you can use the color picker tool to click anywhere in your composition and it will find colors that match or look good with your color that you've selected. You can mess around with really any of these tools, but those are some of the good ones, I would say. The color picker, the text, the shape, the fill tool, the gradient tool, the draw tool, and then the selection tools and arrange tools. These are all really good. Okay, so when you're done with your composition, you need to save your work. So you're going to go to File and Save. And for today, you're going to save your artwork as a JPEG, so a JPG, okay? You're going to click Save As, and you will title your work. I'm going to call this Starbursts. Okay, I'm going to save it. It should say success, that you've saved your work. Then you're going to go to today's exit ticket, 11:10 exit ticket, or maybe it's a different date depending on what class you're in. And you are going to attach a picture to this slide. Mine isn't showing because this is from my side of the program, but it should say start assignment and it'll give you an option to upload your file. You're going to upload your picture to this assignment and submit it, okay? And then you'll be done for today. If you have any questions, you can rewind the video or definitely ask me. I can help you with anything that you may need help with. Okay, good luck.